Hey guys, good morning. Today we're going to be talking about blends. And if you remember from last year, a blend is when two letters come together and they hold their own sound. And I always remember because in the word blend, there is a blend, the blend. You hear the blend. So that is a blend. BL is a blend because you hear both sounds of those letters when they came together. Blend. First, I'm going to present what I have on my table. That way you can see what I'm going to write for the phonics. So that's what I'm going to do now. So first of all, I'm going to write the word clap. Clap. If I sounded that word out, you hear k. K. O. Clap. The next word I'm going to write is the word drab. 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 The third word I'm going to write is the word stop. Stop. So if I wanted to sound out the word stop, I would hear s, t, a, p, stop. All three of these words have something in common. All three of these words have a blend at the beginning of the word. On the first word, clap. Cl is your blend. When the CL come together, they still have their individual sounds. That means they're keeping their own sound. You hear the k and you hear the ul in clap. That is what a blend is. So we're going to underline the CL in clap because that is our blend. In the next word, drab. What do you think the blend is in drab? I'm going to give you just a second to think for a minute. If you said DR, you were correct. The der in drab is your blend. They came together and they held their own sound. You hear d and you hear drab. And in the third word, stop, I'm going to give you a second to think, what is the blend in stop? Stop. If you said ST, you were correct. You hear st, p, stop. You hear each individual letter sound. And since ST are your two consonants that came together, that is your blend. Okay, these are our letter word chords. I'm going to model, that means I'm going to show you how we would normally use these. So for example, I want you to think of the word stiff. Stiff. What sounds do you hear in the word stiff? St, stiff. What are the first two letters you hear? St, st. If you said ST, you are correct. And st and stiff, the ST in stiff is actually your blend because those two letters came together and they kept their own sound. So for now, you hear st and stiff. St. Remember, this is our blend because you hear the s in the S and you hear the t. You hear st. Both of those letters are holding their own sound. That is what makes it a blend. So what is the next sound you hear in st? I. What vowel sound is I? If you said I, you were correct. So I'm going to grab my I card and I'm going to bring it down. St, I. What is the sound? What letter makes the sound? If you said F, you were correct. And this word actually has a double consonant. So it is actually two F's to make the word stiff. Okay, so now we're going to put our letter chords back that we used and we're going to make a new word. Okay, so the next word that I'm going to make is crab. Crab. Think of a crab. What sounds do you hear at the beginning of the word crab? crab. What are those two sounds you hear at the beginning of the word? If you said cur, that is your beginning sound you hear in crab. If you said C for k and the R for the you are correct. Cur. That is your blend. You hear the k in the C and you hear in the R. Cur. Now we're listening for the I. What vowel says I? If you said A, you were correct. Cur. I. B. B. What letter is the B sound? Crab. If you said B, you were correct. Crab. Crab. And just remember the blend in crab is the CR, the cur sound. Cur, because you hear k and you hear Cur. Okay, so now I want you to think for a minute. Think of the word snag. Snag. I'm going to model how we would sound out the word snag. S, s. Yes. N, a, g, g, snag. Now, I want you to look at how we have this word. I'm going to put my finger under my letters. Sn, sn, s, n, a, g, snag. Sn is your blend. Those two consonants came together and they kept their own sound. We hear the s sound and we also hear the n sound. So sn is your blend. Now I'm going to write a new word. I'm going to write the word flap. Flap. L A P. Flap. If I was going to sound out this word, I would first start with the first two letter sounds. Full, 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 a, p, flap. What do you think the blend is in flap? Our first two letter sounds. Full, full. We know that's our blend because we know a blend is when the first two letters come together and they hold their own sound. You hear and you hear flap, flap. Now this is what we would usually call our word list. So normally we would look at our word list on Mondays and it would be the same for the rest of the week. But this week our word lists are going to look a little different each day because they're just review lessons. This is just catching you back up and making you familiar with what you should already know from last year. And if you don't know, that's fine. We will catch you up as we go. First, I want to look at the first word. If I'm going to sound out this word, I would say sn, b, snub. Do it with me. Sn, b, snub. Look at this word. Sp, sp, spun, spun. Now I want you to do it. Sp, sp, spun. Sk, sk, scruff. Do it with me. Sk, scruff. Look at this word. Skid. Sk, sk, id. Skid. Now I'm going to this box. Pull, plug. Say it with me. Pull, plug. Now we're on to the next word. Gull, glad. Say it with me. Glad. Glad. Look at this word. Full. Flag. Flag. Say it with me. Full. Flag. Look at this word. Cool. Cool. Clam. Say it with me. Cool. Clam. We're looking at the words in this box. Trot. Sounded that with me. Trot. Press. Sound it out with me. Press. Trap. Sound it out with me. Trap. Crop. Crop. Sound it out with me. Crop. Look at this word. Prop. Prop. Sound it out with me. Prop. Fur. Fret. Sound it out with me. Fret. Look at this word. Swim. Sound it out with me. Swim. Blot. Blot. Sound it out with me. Blot. Now, all of these words have something in common, and that is that at the beginning of every word, there is a blend. That means those first two letters, you can hear both of those sounds.